Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another session, a special session, a Saturday live session of Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele and Ms, greeting you a happy weekend and a happy Mother's Day. I'm so excited this Saturday afternoon. This is the first time that I'm going live on a Saturday afternoon because it's Mother's Day. We're treating moms, ladies, and everybody's watching to a special session because I have a very special guest, an imported guest who will join me at Coffee Break. So, kumusta kayong lahat? Kumusta ang Sabado ng hapon nyo? I hope that each of us will just take time to chill, to enjoy, and just get your coffee, just get your tea like me so that we can all relax and strengthen our core, strengthen who we are as a mom, as a person, as a servant of the Lord. So that's our topic for this afternoon. Strengthen thus our core. Somebody will join me, and let me tell you who will join me. But before that, please say hi if you're here. I'm saying hi to friends who are here. And this afternoon, especially for ladies, but if I have daddies and other guys and single who are here, please come and join us kasi napakaganda ng pag-uusapan natin. I'm so excited to share with you the person who will be joining me for this live session. We're streaming all the way from my home in the East, and she's all the way there in Europe. Personally, let me tell you who this person is. Personally, she used to be our head in Singles for Christ, and eventually, she is my mentor in my work in speaking. Wala si Kutz and Ichel, wala yung aming love affair ng aking husband now kung wala siya, at wala rin si Ichel who's speaking in front of the public kung wala siya, because she's the person who would sit down with me every time that I have a talk, and she would give me a blow by blow points on the things that I should improve on. Eventually, she gave me rackets. She gave me projects when she was still working for her previous in her previous field. So, ang tawag namin sa kanya, she's our life peg, she's our ninang our love, at siya ang ninang ng bayan. Yung bang pumipila yung gustong magpaanak sa kanya sa kasal. Pumipila rin ang gustong magpa-mentor sa kanya. And we are fortunate to have her this afternoon. Now that she's based in Netherlands, let me introduce her to you. She is not just only my self-proclaimed cheerleader, but she's a passionate advocate for women empowerment. So before, we used to have program in her previous work when we do a lot of talk for women's. And then having worked in several senior leadership roles in an oil and gas company in different countries, predominantly occupied by men. So you see, she works in a field predominantly occupied by men. She witnessed the unique strength that women bring in helping organizations succeed, the same strength that's harnessed to keep a happy home. She's now residing in Netherlands as an expatriate and supports her husband in their work in Couples for Christ. Friends, let me introduce to you ang ninang ng bayan, ang mentor ng bayan, ang love ng bayan, si Miss Daday de Leon. Welcome to Coffee Break, Tita Day!
Good afternoon, our friends in the Philippines. And I know that I also have some friends here in the Netherlands who also connected. So good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Coffee Break. And Ichel, I'm so amazed that you are organizing this thing. And when I reach out to you to say, maybe there's something that we can do together, even if we are afar. And then, it started with an imagination, and now it's now a fruition.
Yes, napanaginipan niya kasi na nag-uusap kami somewhere. That's how we were. We just would like to tell people na dati kaming magkapitbahay. Nung bago kong kasal, naging kapitbahay ko siya. So we would babysit Missy, her daughter, if she's at work. And we will just spend kahit na madaling araw just hanging out together there. So I would like you to experience the magic prowess and the wisdom of our dear Tita Daday de Leon. And friends, please say hi kung nasa lupalop kayo ng mundo, so we can also greet you. Tingnan natin, Tita, ha? I think you have friends here.
Yep. I cannot see it.
And then we have friends from SFC and CFC who are watching.
Oh, that's very nice.
So, tita, kumusta ka sa Netherlands? How is the weather there?
It is a sunny day. So usually in the Netherlands, you would have like 60% raining, and but during spring and going towards summer, maaraw na siya. And dati sa Pilipinas, parang bad trip ka sa araw, di ba? Dahil palaging may araw, lagi ka
Uh-uh.
screen. But here, you really look forward to it. And today is a sunny day, so this is a good day.
That's a sunny day for you. Sa amin, it's a very, very, very sunny day. It's 44 degrees. So it's really hot here in the
Yeah.
Philippines. But it's okay. At least we have aligned our timeline. And this is the best time for us to align, right?
Good.
There. So would you tell us about what you do in Netherlands and why are you an expat in Netherlands, Tita?
Oh, that's good. Okay, so I'm here in the Netherlands for the last 2.5 years. Previous to that, I was working in the Philippines. I work in the oil and gas company in this field called social performance. It's really looking into how organizations like the oil and gas company behave in a social responsible manner. So I started my career in the Philippines, and then I was then moved to a regional role in Asia, handling the Asia Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to the Middle East and North Africa for about
Yes.
4 years. That was also one of the best times of my life. I was assigned in Iraq, and then in July 2017, I moved here together with my husband, who I met also in that oil and gas company, and our teenage daughter.
Yes. Kaya hindi nyo ba napansin? Kaya siya ninang ng bayan. Kasi from the Philippines, Manila, nagpunta siya ng Batangas, tapos nagpunta siya ng Dubai, and then ngayon nandun na siya sa Netherlands. I'm sure may inanak na siya sa kasal. O, pipila yung mga aanakin niya sa kasal. So talagang ninang ng whole universe. Thank you to our tech, Ryan Salvanera, for doing this for us. Kasi mga inaanak kami, meron kaming tribo ng inaanak, di ba?
Yeah,
So,
just to let you know, we're going towards 78 couples na inaanak namin, and we are connected to them regularly, kagaya ninyo. We have a regular counseling session remote.
78? Can you imagine that? Ang galing nyo, nabibilang nyo talaga kasi I think because you sit down with a couple, ayaw nyo na basta mag-aanak lang. Kaya talagang nabibilang nyo. Okay? Tita, why are we doing this? What, bukod sa napanaginipan mo na we're doing this, what's the big why we're doing this strengthen the core session this afternoon?
I think because the women are always the ones who are tying things together. We are the organizers, we are the conveners of things.
Mm-hmm.
Usually our husbands, they are the ones who are charting the course.
Yes.
Sometimes it's also us, right? But it's also the ones who look at the things, the needs of not only our children, even our parents. Tinitingnan pa rin natin yan. And if you are a working person, yun din. But then in the course of things, ang dami nangyayari, ano? And then you get lost in the process, Ichel. We need to go back to who we are and what we are designed for.
Exactly. Yes. Agree, 100%. Kasi, aminin natin, tita, hindi naman tayo yung we're not the traditional women who would just sit down and let the world go by. Parang, di yata kita nakitang naka-duster sa bahay mo. Rollers, yes. Duster, no. So what I just mean is that I like it that you're saying that we have to go back to our core and to get to know who we are again. Because the reality is that pareho tayong immersed with different people. Me with ordinary people, and you, I believe that you are immersed also with fellow Filipinos, even with other nationalities. Lahat yan na nakakasalamuha mo. And I would like to ask you to just, to what you mean by us strengthening our core, especially we're celebrating Mother's Day. Why is it very valuable for us? You can just start this. I'll give you the floor.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, when you're exposed to the different expressions of your identity as a woman, and I have done that when I was in the Middle East and also coming here. There are different ways by which being a woman is being misconceived and being misinterpreted. Like sometimes to be able to see yourself as a successful woman, you need to be like a man. You have to be doing things like a man. And when you are working as well, you're expected to be behaving things and deciding things like how a man should be. But we forget actually that we have our own core as a woman, which makes it so unique
Mhm.
as a leader and also as a leader in your home and in your family. And when you are in that situation, you are in two realities, especially if you're working. You go to your office, for example, and you are either working with your office mates and thinking from that perspective, no? Dapat rational thinking ka, dapat organized ka. You go back to your home and then you bring out your heart because you need
Yes.
to listen to the needs of your children. You need to also serve yung make yourself a happy home. Kailangan harmonious yung bahay natin. Where do you get all this? Parang naiintindihan mo ba yan, Ichel? Do you experience that
Yeah.
as well? You're pulled in
Yes.
different directions, different identities.
Sobra, sobra. I've encountered that, especially during the time that I was finishing my doctoral dissertation. I'm helping my husband. Of course, I was working, keeping a career, being a mom. Parang hindi pa rin mawawala yun. But at the end of the day, you go home kahit ano pang role natin sa labas. Whatever we've been doing outside, inside, I have four eyes. I have two kids. Four eyes looking at you. Will I react to the situation? How will I respond to them? So parang I have to always constantly check nasan ba talaga yung puso ko at sino ba talaga ako in my outside and inside. Ang lagi kong sinasabi, tita, I know you would agree with me. If I'm not effective inside my home with my family, whatever I do as a family psychologist outside, it's nothing. Kasi I'm just, like in the Bible, I'm just a noisy gong shouting outside, but inside I'm empty.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole point of this. Celebrating Mother's Day is actually allowing us to experience and also to recall that the greatest manifestation of us and the strength of a woman is the fact that we were born from our mothers. So they themselves are
Yes.
the very example of leaders. And what do you mean by the core? I'll give you an example first. I got a bit of a realization of that when I was still new in my regional role. I was regional manager of my company on social performance in Asia. Someone came
Mm-hmm.
to me, our VP then said at the time, that why are you speaking so softly? You cannot make the cut because when you speak with all of those Europeans and you have to be, I mean, maybe you have to project something that is not a softie. And I completely disagree. But at the time, I cried. I cried for 1.5 days, just really thinking, should I change?
Wow.
Should I maybe have a voice, maybe training to make myself sound like a man? No.
Mm-hmm.
I soon realized that no. For me to progress, I have to go back to my core. That is my core. I'm a woman. This is my feminine voice. If you think
Yes.
that it disturbs you, listen to what I'm saying because my
Yes.
words are in no means going to be less relevant if it is delivered by a man. So, and
Agree.
and then I actually, what I did was I actually wrote a letter to my supervisor to say I completely disagree, and I think it was then that we were able to come to terms with it. So the core has to be strengthened. What do you mean by a core? Um, I remember like when we have core training. For most of you who are listening right now and who are in a gym training, you have what we call as a core training, right? And usually you would do that if you're an athlete, like if
Yes.
you're running, like you're
Yeah.
running. When you are going to strengthen your core, it means that you are going to strengthen the limb part. It is from here. It's the trunk. The trunk is the one that provides stability. And whatever direction you're in, like your limb, your feet, mga ganyan, you will be stronger, you will be faster for as long as this whole thing in the middle is actually stable. And that is what we mean also by strengthening the core, not from a physical perspective, but from an emotional and a psychological perspective. And the core is not, the trunk is actually It is the embodiment of who we are. What do we know of ourselves? Let's reinvent ourselves to enhance what we are and what we are designed for, and not to pretend that we are something else, unless you would like to reinvent yourself to make a better version of you. Still, you are going to be anchored to your core. So the core in a way is it is the solid identity of who we are and where we draw our inner strength. I remember
Like that.
there is this woman whose passion is to take care of apes. It's a John Godal. I mean, there's this woman that's so inspired, and people actually came to her to say, are you crazy? Why are you doing that? I mean, you live with the apes, but this is who I am. I cannot be a mother, but I can express that kind of motherhood in this endangered species. So whether
Mhm.
people might think that you are crazy or that is your core, and you will define your expression of yourself based on your own identity of who you are, and that is where you will then that is where you will draw your strength, Ichel.
Mm. I really appreciate that because the other day I talk about being motherhood 2.0, and that's being the best version of who you are. That's my topic in this week. So this is exactly that. This is really the culmination of that, Tita. And it's just so wonderful how it aligned. I said that we're always having that notion that you have to be a super mom, a superwoman syndrome, the multitasking mom, but you're just competing with other people's standards. You are not being true to how you do motherhood. You're not being true to how you define what life is for you and what a good life is for you. I'll just go back to what you told me. What you were sharing that you cried when you were, that you have to speak like a man. Remember when I remember one story you told me. You were still in Batangas, and then you said that you're always confronted with men. Tapos gustong-gusto ko yung sinabi mo. I have to say it in Tagalog. Sabi niya, hindi mo mahaharap yung lalaki kung sa lalaki, magiging lalaki ka kasi babae ka. You are a woman. And then sabi mo, and then how do you disarm a man? You use your feminine abilities. Kung nasa mundo ka ng lalaki, gagamitin mo yung damit mo as a woman and your own prowess and your own power and skill as a woman. And I never forget, hindi ko nakalimutan talaga yan. Hanggang ngayon, dala-dala ko yan. Gamitin ang charm mo bilang babae. Hindi mo tatapatan ang lalaki at hindi ka magiging lalaki para tapatan sila. I love that.
And that's true, Ichel. I remember that one. Let me digress a bit. No, so when I was assigned in Batangas as a external relations manager at the time, it was so tough to also manage all government officials, mostly
Mm-hmm.
men, and they really are so demanding. And sometimes the situation is so hostile, very hostile. And I was there managing it. And there's just one thing that I think I have to do to bring myself into that conversation, which makes me passionate now in conflict resolution, now in my role, in my global role on community engagement and risk management. And two things is that as a woman, you have to arm yourself with reason, because reason is a very strong weapon in a conversation for persuasion to convince people. But the second one that you have to bring yourself, which is so unique as a woman, is gentleness. You don't have to shout like they shout. If they shout, you silence. Look in the eye, deliver your reason in a gentle manner. You know,
Wow.
I was in the middle of a strike. I was in the middle of a strike. They were against our company. And I was in front of them, and they were shouting, blah, blah, blah. They were shouting a lot. I looked at them. I remember there was one person who said, and it was really my mentor as well. I mean, you always are fathered by a lot of mentors. Said, Taray, um, mag-prepare ka ng pansit. Bakit, sir? Sabi, gutom na sila, galit sila, pero gutom din. Yung galit, kaya nating pakiusapan para mapaliwanagan. Yung gutom mahirap. Kailangan din nating tugunan. So, alam mo, yung thinking ng kailangan pakainin sila, ang nanay yan na thinking eh. That's us, di
Totoo.
ba?
Totoo.
Kita
Totoo.
natin, iba yung
Kailangan
strength.
basic needs talaga.
Exactly, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sige, tita, you can continue. So, for us, I really like yung core that you're saying earlier. And that's our core as women, our own gentleness. I like that. It's a call for us to refrain also and how do we deliver conflict resolution skills, not just I believe in work, but really in the family and with our spouses. That's a critical key. I would like to to ask to continue, how do we really strengthen and go back to the core? Kasi yan yung mahirap eh. Kasi alam mo yon, we are always competing na, how do you do work-life balance? Kasi ako, tita, personally, I don't define it as work-life balance. There's no perfect balance. I call it work-life harmony. I call it work-life alignment. I call it work-life integration. Lalo na ngayon na work from home setup lahat, you cannot have the perfect balance. So how do we strengthen our core so we can really have that?
Very good. Okay, so let's continue. You need to understand what you need to strengthen. I mean, we need to
Yes.
understand what are the facets of us as a woman that we should strengthen.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I choose to strengthen myself as a woman of peace. I just want to be someone who would like to look at things and be able to bring harmony, as like what you said. But I'd also like to strengthen myself in the context of um, gentleness. A woman of peace, a woman of
Mm-hmm.
gentleness, a woman of charm, that in the midst of things, you will not forget to actually make yourself also beautiful and take care of
I
yourself.
agree.
And a
Yes.
woman of calm. Kalmado lang. I'm working on it. So how do you do that? I'd like to draw, and there are a lot of many points, and I know many of you, I know a lot of colleagues who are in this call right now, and they probably have suggestions as well, but I just pick out some of the things that resonate with me. The first one to strengthen our core is to be able to understand the daily struggles and aim to stretch our capacities. So understand that the struggles that we have right now are there to strengthen our capacity. Before I question, I also question. I question the Lord. I question the Lord, why are these things happening to me? But then at the end of the day, I would also say, I will embrace the struggles. I will embrace it because it's going to strengthen my capacity. At the point in my career right now, and also in my woman's life, as a married woman, as a mother, I have a teenage daughter, and having a teenage daughter and bringing her to live in a European country, there's a lot of influences from diverse and Western culture. It's quite difficult, and
Yes.
she herself as well is transitioning and struggling in her teenage life to find herself, and there are a lot of clashes. And every day is not it's not an ideal day. I go back to the office, and you are going to face competition. You're a woman, you're an Asian, you are in competition with European, American, all the Western
Yes.
counterparts, and they do have that confidence that is built in them in their culture to speak out, to be articulate. That English is their first language. And where are you in that situation? You are in a place where your life partner, your husband, it's not a honeymoon stage. We are in our middle years of the relationship.
Yes.
The patience fuse is not always long, right? I mean, it's always. So where are you and what are you confronted with? I look at it like every day that I live and every day that we as women live is a constant learning experience for us. And whatever it is that we are managing, whether kulang yung ating budget o unsettled tayo sa ating mga trabaho, these are all opportunities for us to be able to strengthen ourselves. That all of these are brought in our life. They are actually learning grounds for us to become strong. Total, ganun din naman, di ba? Ako, I'm sorry, maybe some of you are listening are not so much into the spiritual side of it, but I am, and I hope that I will continue to speak it. It's actually written, you know. I mean, there is mourning, but there is joy in the following day, and so the struggles are there to stretch our capacity. Sorrow is there to appreciate laughter, right? I know, Michelle, you went through a lot. I mean, alam mo, hindi lang dalawang anak mo. Alam ko yan. You went through that, and I saw that. I saw you almost like halos magiba ka sa sobrang devastation
Sobra.
when you lost the child, no? But then dumating si Migo, dumating si Maia. So the sorrow it comes at night, but there's always rejoicing in the morning, and we just have to hang on to that, no? And the third one is that boredom. Boredom is important. Actually, for us moms,
I like
we
that.
love boredom because boredom is where we can find ourselves. And I think ito hindi masyadong applicable siguro sa atin, more on the
Agree,
teenagers.
sobra.
I'm bored. I'm bored, right? Ichel, kasi right now we don't have the capacity to be bored. We are always thinking of a lot of stuff, but boredom is also very important to be able to discover the joys and the blessings of life. So every task, or every challenge that we face is actually a new ground to discover ourselves. So today is a new ground itself for both of us to collaborate for more of these discussions. And nothing and no limits can make a woman not think of ways. Maparaan ang mga babae. Eh. Alam mo, kahit naalala ko nga yung nanay ko, kailangan talaga niyang ayusin yung hair ko kasi magsi-CAT na, paalis na ako ng bahay. Tay, wala pa. Ma, kailangan talaga nakapunita. Alam mo, hinugot niya yun yung garter sa panty. Tapos yun ang nilagay niya dun. Sabi ko, yung nanay ko, walang problema na walang solusyon sa nanay ko. May solusyon talaga. And that is our strength as a woman. Okay? So, then,
I think yan yung resiliency rin ng mother. Resourcefulness and resiliency. We just know how. I don't know, but it's just the internal programming. But I believe, Tita, I just would like to catch what you said on boredom. Marami rin sa atin kasi we are programmed by the traditional parents na dapat hindi ka maging bored. Pag wala kang ginagawa, that's a disgrace. That is an injustice. But we need to recognize that when we are bored, that's when we become creative. When we are, on the time that you are bored and relaxing, this is the time when the wisdom comes, when God's answers to your question happens. Kasi you silence your head when you're boredom. And then I think for me, it's a very important tool that we need to be bored. I agree with that.
And I like also what you are doing, that you are really asking your audience that take time to find time, take time, find time, guard your time, be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yung mayroon akong, kasi I always follow yun, masarap tumanga.
True.
Alam mo, totoo naman yun eh. Yung pagka bakante yung mind mo, you allow yourself to be a fertile ground and a vacant ground for new seeds of ideas to come. Meron akong ka-sister dito sa community namin, dito sa CFC. Si Mean, wala siguro siya rito. Napaka-creative niya, no? Lahat ng mga bagay nagagawa niya ng paraan. At nagde-decor din siya during events. And yung una, nakakatawa kasi nung nag-decor siya during the events, nung dating niyan, sabi ko sa isip ko, pwede na ba yan yung mga ganyan? Parang kulang, may mga styrofoam, etc. My God, nung naayos na niya lahat, you don't realize the creativity of a woman, yung naaayos niya, and then it becomes a very beautiful semblance of background for any event that would happen. That's what we are. Yung mga little things na minsan naiinis yung ating mga hobbies kasi sinasabi nila, ano ba naman, ang dami dito.
Kala.
Ilalagay, sandali lang sweetheart, lalo na pag-aalis tayo, di ba? Isasama ko pa ito. Tapos mamaya may mga lilito ba? Ano yan? Ay, nalimutan ko yung andito pa pala yung asin, ilalagay mo. Ba't hindi naka-organize lahat yan? Okay. Pero pag nandun na tayo sa outing, pag may nangangailangan ng suka, teka, may dala ako. Pag may kailangan ng tissue paper, teka, may nadala ako. That is our strength. And
True.
you know what? There are people who belittle that. There are people who actually think na ito namang mga kababayan na ito, mahilig sa mga maliliit na bagay, ang gugulo. Don't underestimate that. We are the glue of all those little things that will make life bearable, that will make whatever things that we are doing actually better because we think of those little things. That is a strength. And I bring that in my job. I bring that a lot in my job. Good.
Agree.
So
Agree, Tita.
let's let's
Next.
let's go to the next one. The next
Yes.
one is the next one is harnessing the healing forces of gratitude. So how do we strengthen the core? Our core is a battlefield, I tell you. Every time that you have a situation, tinatamaan yung pinaka Tagalog ibuturan ng puso natin. Ano? Ang sakit, di ba? Parang pagka, I remember there was someone who came to me and said, Tita Day, I don't know, should I still stay in this relationship? Because I felt yung relationship ko with my in-laws, parang tinatamaan ako yung who I am, yung pinaka ako na eh. Hindi na inatake yung bahay namin, etc. Pero ako na ang inaatake. How can I handle this one? And I said, there are situations in our lives where these things are non-negotiable. You cannot just say no to this, right? Like family, you cannot say no. They are a constant in our lives. So how do we do that? We harness the healing forces of gratitude. And this is not just, kasi tayo pagka, when we express gratitude, we always look at the physical manifestations of blessings. Physical manifestation of blessings. Like, thank you, Lord God, meron naman akong bahay, meron naman akong ganyan.
Yeah.
No, look at the other things that are just in your core. In your core, and you should be grateful, but just not even looking at the physical things. Let's start with yung intellect natin, yung talino natin. We should be grateful for what we have, with the capacity to analyze things that will make us happy, the capacity to analyze things that will make us grateful. So the important thing that we have to do is that what knowledge and truth are you using to analyze things? Because usually, when you analyze things in the context of gossip, when you analyze things in the context of sensational information, then you are bound to really destroy and disbalance your core. Mahirap yan. Right? But you analyze things on the basis of truth. For me, my truth is Mama Mary. My truth is my mother. So when I am feeling so low, for example, managing my teenager, I always think about the truth. My truth is my mom was able to actually handle 7 teenagers during her prime time.
Wow. And she was a working mom. She was
And
a working mom.
she's a teacher. She's a teacher. So you have to analyze. The analysis that you have should be in that context. Use your will. Use your intellect to be able to be grateful and harness that healing to be able to be grateful. The second one is your will. Will is actually your decision. Your decision that leads to actions. What are your main basis for decisions? Importante din yun, ano? Because we've
Yeah.
always been charged as deciding on the basis of emotions, which is not really a bad idea. We decide because we will decide to be kind. That is where our emotions are used. We decide to be patient. That is because we are empathizing, right? But we also use our will to decide on the things that sometimes at an instance you would say, mukhang hindi kakayanin to eh. Pero you decide because you think that it is part of your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to decide not only according to what you want, but probably according to what God wants of you.
I love that.
Then it is again very spiritual. We have a God. I always say that even when I was in the Middle East, we talk about God even if they're Muslims, because they also have a supreme being over there. There are times when we are taken out of our comfort and our core is disturbed because God is asking us to do something else. So when I was when I was in the Middle East, and my supervisor told me that I think your job is in danger. So it's either you go back to the Philippines or you do something different, and that will secure you at least your job. What is that? I said 50% you have to work in Iraq. I mean, you have to go there and live there in the camp. You have to go there. You have to wear your bulletproof vest and your helmet every time you go out to the communities.
Yes.
And I cried and I said, why is it happening to me? And my husband said, God is in control. Go there. It is what it's meant. So that is exactly what I'm saying. You will make those decisions not only based on what is comfortable, but also based on how you can be used and being spiritual about it. Third, also, healing forces of gratitude is imagination. And imagination, use those imagination, not to imagine the things that are harmful to you or the things that happen to you that are bad, but actually those aspirations and dreams, use those for what do you aspire for? Because that will then help you to look at things like, okay, I will aspire for this. So kahit hirap ako ngayon, thank you, Lord, dahil kahit papaano, this one, if I can surpass this, I will be able to do this, right? So, relying on the greatest promise of the Lord sa akin, it's still very spiritual. You know, I mean, if you're reading the Bible in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to make you prosper and not to bring you disaster, plans to
Yes.
make and to bring about a future that is for you.
Future full.
So there was
Yes.
someone actually who said, alam mo ako, I always follow my husband whenever my husband is assigned. But you know, but every time I go there, I find a different expression of me, whether I am in another country or in another country. Every time, wherever that woman is, she would always start something. And this is again, hindi ko na sasabihin yung pangalan, part din ng community namin. When they were here, now they are assigned in the Netherlands, they started something. And they are very effective in doing something. And yung kasister kong yun is doing something so unique that she puts a lot of attention and details and rigor into what she's doing. It's a woman touch in the things that she's doing. And fourth is memory. And you know, when you have your imagination, you become grateful, right? And then
Yes.
you strengthen your core. Hindi ka mawawala. Lastly, you talk about your memory. Your memory is treacherous. Mahirap yan. It is sometimes the garbage can in our lives. So try to examine what are you keeping in your mind. It is the big garbage can of memories that are hurting you and you cannot let go because that is not going to strengthen your core. It is the very decay. That is the very decay. That is the rust that will continuously diminish the strength in us. So in the past, we have a lot of those. And dami nating experiences, but these are not the truth about us. The truth about us is that we are created as beautiful wonders. We have our own unique qualities. So, kasabihin, pero tita, hiniwalayan ako eh. Tita, nag-betray ako eh. Oo nga, no, but these are still circumstances. These are truths about your experiences, but it is not the one that is the true who you are.
Yeah.
As a
Tita,
woman.
I'll catch that. Di ba I call it also the irrational tapes, the things that we've been preconditioned, that, it's just running in our heads and affecting all our thoughts, our emotions, even our actions and directions, even our directions in life. And if we are at the stage that we are mature enough but don't know how to have the intellect, the will, the imagination that you're saying, this memory, we don't know how to choose which is helpful at this state in our life, parang lahat ng garbage tama kadadali natin kasi hindi siya pwedeng, it cannot stand alone. It has to go with each other. And that memory, we have to choose what is really connected to our core. So I totally agree to what you're saying.
And it's really true. So I have a friend also in the Netherlands. So she acknowledges that sometimes she would have these bouts of anxiety, but because she went through a lot, no, I mean she really went through a lot. When
Yeah.
she was pregnant, there was someone who really hated her and would even wish na sana hindi maging successful yung kanyang pregnancy. But you know, I see this woman as a very strong woman. She stands her ground. Alam mo, pag ako ay nagkakaroon ng anxiety, I know what to do. So she studies it, and she doesn't allow her memory, she doesn't allow the mind to take care of her core. She's really very well grounded, a good professional. So, ang daming mga experiences of mga what you call as yung exemplary women. Like for example, sa iyo, Ichel, yung memory, yung memory nung naundoy kayo pagkatapos nawala pa yung baby mo. Ang daming mga nangyari nung time na yun, ano. But you know how you rose up to be able to use those those memories to build on it. Use that as stepping stones, as your pedestal.
They are opportunities, actually.
Exactly. So, and the last one is open your own treasure house. This is actually the last. Open your own treasure house because you already have that in your hand, right? I mean, to be able to strengthen your core, you already have your own backbone. Marami ka nang makakapitan. Magaganda na ito, no? So, and this is really the happy part of it, right? Your friends. These are your treasure house. Yung mga books. Well, these are all your treasure house. But the other important thing that you have to really look your treasure house is the fact that you're not alone. The woman is a woman who is weak, but strong because there is a God who makes this woman strong and will not completely rely on your own understanding. But there is a God who tells you, go. Parang yung story ni Esther, di ba? Yung story ni Ruth. There are a lot of those stories na pag nagdadasal siya, Lord, hindi ko kaya. Di ba, nandito naman ako. So that is your treasure house from among the many in your, and that is in here. So mapupuno yan, Ichel. And with that, nagiging strong tayo, no? So kapag strong na yung core, ano ang mamanifest? Mamamanifest yan in different ways. Yan, bago tayo magtapos, malapit na. 4 P's, ano ko muna, how is the strength of your core manifested in your life? First is peace. I love that. Peace.
I love that. Peace. Peace in itself.
Peace comes from within. It is not a goal, but should be a way of living. I like it. Like, hindi yung sasabihin mo na, gusto ko na magkaroon ng kapayapaan. Kasi ang gulo-gulo ng buhay ko. Every time teka, kaya ko to, chill lang tayo. No? So, peace. There are a lot of situations in our daily lives, but we always say to ourselves that nothing disturb you, that nothing frighten you. Everything passes away except God, because God alone is enough.
Amen.
That's
Amen talaga, di ba?
Alam mo, pag may peace ka, nangiti ka. Now, if you have peace, then you will go to the next P, voice. Kagaya ni Miss Ichel, bago humarap sa Michele Alignay Coffee Break, nakikita yung kanya talaga, how she looks at herself, and poise is not only expressed in the way that you carry yourself, but you carry your home, man, home. You cannot be beautiful amidst the chaos in your house. You also have to make sure that there's neatness and orderliness in your house, and because that is our role as women. We are given that strength and that capacity, right? It is the way we carry ourselves with quiet confidence and self-assurance, not yung maingay na, a noisy gong, but quiet assurance, quiet confidence. A strong core will give us the backbone to stand up and face our struggles. Yung tipong sasabihin mo, wag ako, wag niyong itest. You just stay quiet, but you don't pounce at the first instance. You study because there are also some battles that are worth giving up. Hindi lahat ng gera kailangan lalabanan natin.
I agree.
Hanapin natin.
There's a line that I like. I like sharing the line, tita, that choose where your energy goes. Kasi hindi naman lahat eh. Parang wala ka talaga magagawa. Ngingiti ka lang talaga. Pagpapasa Diyos mo lang talaga.
So, A strong core will give us the backbone to stand up and face our struggle. And with the right pose, alam mo, ang analogy dyan is like a duck. Yung mga pato ba, di ba? Pagka nakatayo, pagka nandun lang sila, ganyan lang sila, ganyan, parang ayos lang. Pero actually sa loob yan, kaganon din.
Yeah.
They're so peaceful. So you keep calm in the surface, but paddle
You,
like crazy underneath.
so
Crazy.
that's peace,
Yeah. That's
poise, and pose.
yeah, the poise and pose. Poise is actually like it's a noun. It actually says, okay, so this is who you are now.
Mhm.
Yan yung dating mo. Third is
Yep.
perseverance. So perseverance, it's really,
Yes.
really, really leading towards that, like the crazy underneath the feet of the duck, while on the outside or on the surface you would see a poise there that's there. That is keep going. Like and we do actually, we do. Sino ba sa ating
Mhm.
mga nanay na huling matulog dahil inaayos muna yung mga nagkalat ng mga toys, yung mga yung mga hindi naayos. Meron akong kilalang nanay na bago matulog, pati yung mga tropilo, inaayos pa niya. Talagang, yun yung ibig sabihin, we just keep on going and going and going and going. But also knowing that in the end, it will bring peace and harmony. There's a greater God who gives us strength and guides us. And lastly, performance. And that I am
Oh,
really an advocate for that. Please let us not say, kasi babae, kaya ganyan lang. Kasi
agree.
gawa ng babae, kaya emotional siya. That's not true. We are performers. If you look at how your parents actually, your mothers brought you into this world, so that is unfair for us if we ourselves would believe that. You are then destroying your core. So giving the best and producing the best of what we are called to do by harnessing our feminine qualities. And what are these? Our capacity for empathy, our attention to details, our capacity for organization, for convening resources together to be able to connect. We do connect things. We are definitely born leaders. So if you doubt that, remember your mother, when your mother will give you just one look and you behave, they're able to actually give order because of that. We are born leaders and we are women.
Yes.
We have that as our core. Thank you.
Thank you. Tita, these are so wonderful points. Alam mo, I like what you said that we are born leaders, but I believe that ito let's just put this in the spirit of conversation. Di ba in the Bible, ito gusto kong tanong sa'yo personally, but I know, di ba, biblically, men leads and women follows. But I believe meron siyang ibang, it's not a literal sense. Given that you are a leader, we are leaders, how do we, how do we go by it? We are Catholic, you are leaders in your community. And you, how do you go along with it with Tito Mel? Siya yung go-to namin eh. Siya yung peg namin pagdating sa ganyan. If for our watchers, for our friends, the formula that the Mel and Daday tandem, Tita Daday's husband is Tito Mel, na sa pagiging born leader in the community, yung headship, and then how do you become a leader on your own right with your womanly qualities? Yan ang gusto kong masagot in
There is
connection to our core.
a prerequisite to that. So the leader, who is the man, is the leader of a congregation or an organization. And when you lead, you have to look
Mhm.
at the welfare of everyone, right? So you lead not on the basis of your whims, but you lead on the basis of
Mhm.
what will be best for the organization. So that includes also the little details. In the leading part, a woman has a role to play because a woman looks at details that probably a leader wouldn't be able to see.
Yes, agree.
So that is the prerequisite. Now, ito naman is invoked if you are married. Hindi ka married, you can be a leader on your own. Ang dami nating mga leaders who are handmaids or widowed and they're leading on their own and leading on their lives, for women. It's just that when you are married, there has to have order in the house. right? Because if both of you are carrying the pants, who's going to say who? So very clear
Yes.
naman ang role ng ating mga husbands. They are the priest, the protector, and the provider. But then some people would say, hello, but I am also the provider. Yes, you are the physical and financial provider. But provision is not only from financial perspective. Provision is also in terms of safety. Provision also in terms of welfare. And that is the role of the husband, right? Now, why are we here to support, provide order? They are called for that. Okay, let's try to argue. But hindi na lang sila ang maglaba? Okay, so I tried it as well, right? I tried it. I asked my husband, o sige, ikaw na muna dito sa bahay, ako doon sa ano. Hindi naman maayos. And then you end up, nagagalit ka kasi it's not according to your standard. But then,
Yeah.
I said, you know why? That is because that is our core competence. Our core competence is this attention to details, looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
So it is for the order of the family, and it is not it is not something where you are going to follow the leader. You are going to follow the lead of Christ in your role as a woman. That's it. In the same manner that the head of the family, who is the husband, follows the lead of Christ as the priest, provider, and protector of the
Mm-hmm.
family. So pareho
Yes.
tayo nagli-lead. Yun yung ibig sabihin.
Yes.
Pareho tayong nagpa-follow with our own roles.
I agree with that kasi baka ang nakikita ng iba, we just the husband called the shots all the time. And the women just, abide by how the husband direct. But kailangan mo siyang i-tweak kasi kanya-kanya ng strengths. And I like what you said that we have that attention to details. I'll just take case in point for example. A lot of women now are being exasperated because for here in Manila, ang lumalabas to go on the one who has the quarantine pass at home are the men. Tapos sila yung lumalabas ng bahay to do the grocery. But hindi nila makuha yung standards that we are wired with. But ladies, we've been doing this for the longest time. We have that attention to details even without us knowing all the details, the ml, the grams of what we're buying. In our heads, we know that. But the men, that's not their strength. So we have to, respect how they do it. And I think we can translate it to bigger details, to other details. So I like that we lead in different ways, but we follow the same direction. I love that, Tita Daday. Sa'yo lang talaga manggagaling yan.
Gusto ko din lang i-emphasize that there shouldn't be competition because the moment competition comes into the picture, you destroy the family. Wala
Agree.
dapat competition. Actually, we are only, kumbaga, we are put into a puzzle. We are being really sort of like composed into the right fit because that is the right way to do it. And sabi nga if we will measure things by worldly means, talagang maguguluhan tayo kasi ang isipin namin ako, mas malaki ba ang account ko, ikaw mas maliit.
Yes.
Alam mo kung gano'n na nangyayari, sira na mga relationships natin. But that's not how it is.
I have a word for that. We don't compete with our spouses. We complement each other. I remember, Tita, this is one advice that you gave me when Puts and I were starting out because I'm an organized person. I think fast. Ang sinabi mo sa akin, Puts will teach me how to slow down and I will teach him how to, fasten up. And tanda mo pag nagtitraining tayo dati, when we were still, in our days in Pililya, tanda mo nun dati na while we're working and doing training, what will our husbands, I was, newly married then, and ikaw, what will our husbands do? Nandun sila sa isang room, magtataas sila ng paa at manunood sila that time ng DVD videos while we are, working our ass out, doing training the whole day. And it's wonderful. Masama ba loob natin na ginagawa natin yun?
No.
Hindi naman, di ba?
They love us so much that they respect us and they support us.
Yes.
So there are different angles. There are really different angles that we look at this. It's really complementation. And let's not think about our roles, let's think about the outcome and who we're serving. We're serving our children, right? So look at it.
Yes.
That we will, sabi ko nga, kindness will always come. cooperation will always come. We'll always stop thinking about ourselves, thinking about the others.
Tita, meron din ako isang catching everything that you said and in our core, I get a lot of questions like this na, tama ba? Ichel, tama ba yung ginawa ko? I cannot, for me personally, I cannot say what is tama, black and white, unless talagang there's harm, there's abuse, right? But sometimes kasi it's value-based eh. It really depends on our core. It really depends on what will give you peace. And it really depends on our inner values. And I call it sometimes that's the mother's wisdom. That's the womanly wisdom. Na sometimes we keep listening to all this, we subscribe to different thoughts. We subscribe to a lot of, social media platforms. We subscribe to everything, but we fail to subscribe to the inner wisdom that God has gifted us with. I would like to take your head on that.
When Kasi I know that you reach out to a lot of women, right? And people would come to you to ask for advice and said, Tita, tama ba ito? Dr. Ichel, as a family psychologist, napakadaming challenges talaga in managing the family. There are things that we have to look into, right? And an importante kasi is you have to find out what is it that you're asking. What is it for? Is it for yourself? Is it for other people? It's not a clear-cut thing. Sometimes you need to ask more and ask more. Why? Why are you asking this? Why are you lost? Yung limang why, yung limang five, sa corporate world, ginagamit natin yan, di ba? Yung why, you five, why, what, where, when, why, when. So sometimes, and then also when you have to do that, you stick on the why. So you started, why are you doing this? Okay, so you have the answer. And why are you having this? Mga limang tanong ka ng why, mapupunta ka sa core. Kaya ito yung pinag-uusapan natin yung core. And then maipapalabas sa atin, what do we really want? I mean, today, I think this week, we just came from a discussion with the family who said, should we move to another country or not? Okay, good, that's good. But then why? Why do you want to move? Why do you have to do this? And then towards the end, they had to say, okay, and then they agreed. We're going to do this for our children. Okay, so with that as the core reason, try to look at the options and what is the best option that will then meet the needs of the very core reason that you have for a particular decision. Laging ganyan. Pero alam nyo, iba kasi yung need at saka yung want. Kaya sometimes,
agree.
Yung mga babae, di ba? At sinasabi na nga ng husband ko, yung core mo talaga, kailangan mo lang naman ng isang bag. Kaya lang yung want natin, gusto natin ng 10. So,
agree.
Ang sabi ko, okay, I put a balance. Can I also say that I want to look beautiful? I want to have another bag. But that's really the point. At I mean, when it comes to really serious matters, go back and then dissect.
Yeah.
Dig until you'd go down to the basic. Why? And then you try to address the need there. And it becomes simple.
I just would like to share with everyone that we've been talking about, napakalalim, but you don't just unfold the core in one step. Yung sinabi mong limang why, it's layers and layers and layers. I have a term for that I often use. Dadagdag to sa P mo, tita. Pang limang pito, I always would like, when you na-dissect mo na yung layers ng why, you go inside and check the posture of your spirit. Where is the posture, that clear intent? Kasi in the posture of your spirit, nandun yung direction sa'yo ni God. Are you at peace with it? Is there a proper poise there? Will you be willing to persevere? Kasi pwedeng willing ka mag-persevere pero hindi aligned. So, and then of course, when you perform and then you're not aligned to how the posture is moving you, parang yun yung sinasabi natin, parang may mali, may glitch. So, dun ko lang idadagdag yun, that going back to the core is, it's really also, I agree, knowing who you are and being the best out of who you are. And God, naniniwala kasi ako, God bless who we are. God bless the one who He wants us to be. God, narinig ko to with another wisdom-filled women. Hatok ni Ate Maro Sanchez, the wife of Bo Sanchez. Sinabi niya na, God does not bless the one you pretend to be. So, baliktarin lang natin. God really continuously bless. Why are you blessed? I agree, Tita Dai, you are blessed because you're so aligned with your purpose early on. And sa mga friends natin nakikinig, maybe that's why I'm so aligned with the purpose because I hang out with one of the best. I hang out with a woman who's so clear cut with what she wants, na nagkataon, she saw my gift also. And she clear cut me also with what I need to do. So nagkataon, we hang out with each other. So here we are. But then it doesn't come easy for all. And that's
Yes,
I would like
but
sige,
it
Tita,
becomes
just I would
obvious
like you to
actually.
share your last points. Yeah.
Last point lang siguro. Actually, you are not in blind. You are not in a blind spot in terms of how the Lord will use you. No way,
Yes.
no way. You just have to be sensitive. But it requires actually your constant connection with Him. It requires that because you cannot find yung will niya in this business of things. It has to be in their own self-reflection. Meron kaming, and this is another friend, ang dami kong mga, I have a friend dito sa Netherlands na ang passion niya yung mga anak, ang passion niya yung mga bata. And then,
Mhm.
true enough, aligned, no? Silang mag-asawa ngayon, they are now handling yung Kids for Christ. Ibig sabihin yung,
Yes.
hindi siya blinded. The Lord is not blind. Is not blinding you with options. Pinifeed niya eh. Actually, piniprepare na tayo from day one. Kung ano yung strength natin. Ikaw, Ichel, I already know eventually you will become a psychologist, you will become a family therapist because of the way you do things. Nung bata ka pa, I remember, you were still in college.
Bata pa ako.
You're still bata, but yung nung time na alala mo may research ka pa dun sa mga magbo-boyfriend.
Boyfriend. Yeah, that's MA. That's
Alala
MA.
ko,
Yeah.
ano ba naman ito? Kung ano mga iniisip na mga imaginations, but then you were already trying to dissect things because ililid ka talaga niya eh. Actually,
Yeah.
lahat ng pinrepair ni God sa atin, yung education natin, yung experiences natin, all these
Agree.
will not come to waste. And maybe you can quote that.
I'll
Everything
quote that.
go to
I
waste.
wrote that in my book, Beauty of 40. Walang tapon si Lord.
Tapon si Lord.
Wala.
Yung
Agree dyan. Kahit yung,
love mo sa mga bata, gagamitin niya yan
yeah.
to serve His purpose. Yung pagsasalita mo, like what I'm doing now, I agree. Talagang ginagamit ko ito because I know that I can express it. Yung iba, may
Yes.
mga kakilala ko na they're good in numbers, nagagamit yan for a lot of stuff. So, but then, ginagamit ni Lord with our own feminine, unique strength. Yan ang importante.
I like that. Ginagamit ni Lord in our... And alam nyo, for the moms and everyone who's listening, baka nakikita nyo, your core is built up of a lot of things. And I'll take it from what you said na lahat ng nangyari sa atin dati, it just leads up to that. Tita, even yung breakup, even failures, even loss of work, di ba? Yung mga diversion. Remember one time you went home, ang iniiyak ko sa inyo, yung tampo ko with the big issue. And sabi mo, hindi, inalis ka lang dyan ni Lord kasi hindi na yan yung purpose mo. Ikaw lang yung nagpalinaw, lagi ko yung binabalikan. Na pag may door, pero walang tapon. And I agree with that. God bless those who are very clear in doing what He wants for us. And I think as mothers, hindi talaga pwede yung perfect balance. Ang alignment natin is like the work-life harmony is really aligning the mission to with how we relate with the Lord. And that's my greatest point and take away with this. How we strengthen the core. The core is really our relationship with the Lord and who we really are as an individual.
Okay, are we towards the end of this session?
Yes, we're towards the end. Wala
Can
nang
I-
nagtanong? Parang friends, wala ba kayong tanong?
Maybe, can we, before siguro magtanong, is it all right if we pray? Can I pray with you?
Of course, we will pray.
Okay, so in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. And this is a prayer because we are celebrating Mother's Day. So we ask the Spirit of God to be with us. Father, thank you for the opportunity to experience you today and rediscover our core strength as your daughter. May you continue to bless the woman in us, the woman in me, the woman that I am molding myself to be. May you mend where my heart is broken and fill every empty space with your healing love. May you erase the fears of my past and create in me solid confidence to face the future with hope, with enthusiasm, to be able to serve you. I pray that I would grow closer to you, Lord, every day and strive to lead a life by your example, by the example of Mama Mary, your mother. I pray that I will face everything with courage and to walk in integrity, worthy and pleasing in your eyes. Lord, you are the source of our core strength. Keep us in your loving embrace always. Amen. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for that wonderful prayer, Tita. If there's last three words that I would like to just share with everyone that I pick up, we have to have that solid identity that is aligned with God, that solidness. And another is embrace our struggles. Gusto ko yan. That's why I really know there's no such thing as a perfect life. And then we have to harness our feminine quality. Hindi natin pwedeng ikumpara yung sarili natin sa ibang babae at sa husbands natin or to any person for that matter. We really have to do that. And I pray also that this Mother's Day, friends, you can harness your feminine potential to bring out the best in you so you can give that best quality to your friends, to your loved ones, especially to your family and your kids. Tita, can you just, give a last wisdom? Diba, we miss you so much. Gagawin natin to ng once a month. If it's not too much for you.
It's wisdom, because I have been hearing kanina kasi lumabas yung story about yung who should be the leader yung in the
Yes.
family, the man or the woman, and sometimes it's connected with yung who has more income, etc. Ichel, can I propose? Let's have another conversation this time. Let's talk about
Sure.
let's talk about abundance. Let's talk about
Mhm.
what can you say? There's a lot of misconception about abundance, and it is always related to who
Agree.
gets your salary. And that's not what the intent is. We're measuring and looking at it in the eyes of worldly means, and that's the lens
Mhm.
changed, right? So, sabi mo, redefine it. So maybe we can have that.
Tita, I agree because we need that because we know we are in a crisis, in the middle of a crisis.
Yeah.
Redefining abundance will bring more meaning to what we're talking about. Okay. Any last words for our friends here? Bago yan, salamatan muna natin yung ating tech guy behind everything is Ryan Salvanera. Thank you,
Hi,
Coach
Ryan.
Ryan. Ika, life coach ngayon, you are our tech guy. And thank you to everyone. Please say hi if you're watching, all our friends from your friends from Netherlands and our friends here from Manila. Thank you. And please give us your last words to everyone who's watching, to every mothers and singles, everyone, even spiritual moms who are watching.
I would just like to say, celebrate yourself as a woman because you are special in the eyes of God.
I agree with that. And I really pray that each mom, mother, woman can, use her feminine potential, use her
Yeah.
feminine skill to be able to nourish her core and to nourish the family that she's with. And that is what Coffee Break Saturday session will be about. And at si Daday na ang nagsabi, there will be another session of this that we will talk about. Thank you, friends, for joining us. If you have comments, if you have suggestions, if you have learnings, please feel free to put that in the comment section so we can get back to you. Thank you for joining Coffee Break. This is Michele Alignay from Manila, and that's our guest. Can we give a clap and a heart to our guest, Tita Daday de Leon, all the way from Netherlands? O, di ba? We have an international imported speaker speaking in Tagalog. We love you, Tita. We miss you so much. And lastly, friends, if you're looking for gifts for moms, my books, Beauty of 40 and The Family Goals, Embracing the Perfection of Family Life, they're on 30% discount, I believe, via ebook at feastbooks.ph. Meron nag-message sa akin all the way from Canada. She was able to get a copy of her book. And this is a very good Mother's Day read dahil eksaktong 1 year na today ang release ng Beauty of 40 because it has, I'm going to print the second the second printing because it has blessed a lot of women and even men. Amazing. Thank you. God aligns everything when we are aligned to our core. Thank you, Tita Dai. We love you and we miss you. We pray that you celebrate your Mother's Day well. Thank you, everybody. And we hope that you enjoyed this special Mother's Day session of Coffee Break. See you again next week. And God bless you all.